We're not discussing anime now. We're going to go live action Hollywood on you. Mortal Kombat 2021.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. Hey, I'm glad they played that in the end. But anyways,
there's no way they wouldn't have done it. Yeah.
No, some reboots these days don't. They totally forget the original music, dude. It's dumb. But I'm glad that they did that. Okay, here is our spoiler-free review of the latest Mortal Kombat movie. Have you guys seen it? Let us know in the comments below. And if you have not seen it, did our opinions affect whether you're interested in this film or not? All right. Before we get into anything specific, what is your brief thoughts on the Mortal Kombat movie, Germs?
I think honestly it was a pretty fun watch. There was a lot of me and all the boys, James. It was a fun watch, honestly. There's a lot of fun moments, just dumb fun, we're not coming here expecting the high quality, plot and all that stuff. It's dumb fun, we're seeing crazy fights, blood everywhere, people's arms and all this kind of, Mortal Kombat. You're expecting Mortal Kombat here. And that's exactly what I came in. That's exactly what I got. So I'm really happy with it. I didn't feel like it was a waste of time watching. There was tons of funny ass moments and callbacks to the actual games and all that.
Yes.
So I think it was just dumb fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I would recommend it to any game. Anyone it's played the games or interested in games and all that stuff. So
you were satisfied.
Short little review. Yeah, I was definitely satisfied.
Okay. Yeah, I think the callbacks were great. If you are a Mortal Kombat fan, I recommend this. I'm a Mortal Kombat fan. I got a lot of enjoyment out of this. This is definitely a fun film. Definitely, I would recommend the theater experience because there is going to be a lot of scenes where the whole crowd is laughing. It's a popcorn flick. You're going to have some fun with it, A lot of Mortal Kombat characters that you expect to see. The fight scenes were good. Overall, if you want Mortal Kombat to be a spectacular film, something with a very serious plot, something that you can really get wrapped up in,
crying at the end or something.
Yeah, this might not be for you, but if you just want some dumb fun, if you're one of those people that wants to scream Mortal Kombat and you just want to watch a film about it, bam, this is a great one. All right, let's get into some specifics here. Fight scenes. What did you think of the fight scenes, Germs? Because that's the big draw with Mortal Kombat. The blood, the gore. What did you think of the fight scenes?
Yeah, I think it was done really well, and also like the CGI of obviously a lot of Mortal Kombat characters aren't exactly human in a lot of aspects. So I feel like the CGI really and like the fight choreography and all that kind of stuff was really well done in my opinion. It's obviously, there's a little bit of, fantasy aspect to some of the jumps and kicks and all, like how many times a person can get like stabbed and before dying. But, this is, just dumb fun, good, fun action.
Yeah.
There was enough fighting scenes there. And the variation in characters was really nice as well. It wasn't just, two hand to hand all the time.
That is a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, I think the fight scenes were done very well. Speaking of characters, I thought we got a great roster of characters. I will get into something specific later on, but overall, I think the roster that they chose was very good. I think pretty much everyone except for one person,
I know
that I'll get into later, was from the very first game. They're all there. I thought the casting was great. I thought Jessica McNamee as Sonya Blade. I thought she killed it. I thought that they were all good. For what I envisioned, from what I want in a Mortal Kombat film, these people look and act the parts, and they do good. I mean, there's not one casting choice that I thought the actor or actress was wrong for that role. I thought that they were all great for their roles. The fight scenes, which is the big draw. That's the big draw. We're all here for the fight scenes. We all want to see some shit go down. I think it actually could have been a little bit more bloody and gory, in my opinion. Now, at the end of the fight scenes, you're going to get the blood and the gore, but not a lot of like the hand-to-hand combat and stuff like that. You're not seeing blood splatter everywhere. And I guess I'm not trying to criticize it too much. I think that they were fine, totally fine in what they did. But it is Mortal Kombat. If we could get blood spilling and skin being ripped off and seeing skeleton, just all the Mortal Kombat-y stuff. Listen, it does a good job. Tons of blood,
there's a few of those
gore.
scenes, just probably
They're spread thin and far between. So when they happen, it hits you really good. You're like, yeah, that was badass. Could have been a little bit more for my taste because I am going there for some dumb fun, but not a big deal. Really, not a big deal.
Yeah, but I don't bring children into this movie. We probably should have said that right at the beginning.
It's rated R, so yeah.
Oh yeah. But yeah,
lots of blood, lots of gore. Any characters that stood out to you in this film that you really loved?
Well, I think everyone's gonna know Kano, baby.
Yep.
So hilarious, so good. He had like the just enough Aussie accent that it wasn't in like too like it didn't feel like it was unnatural. Like it felt like he kind of it just felt so good. His character was so hilarious, and a lot of the one-liners and all the actions he did was really perfect and fit to his character. And from what I've seen, I'm not super deep into the Mortal Kombat lore, but I really loved his character. And I was like, oh, maybe. I was like, oh, isn't this what his character does? And it's like, oh yeah, that's what his character does. And then and the powers and all the stuff, powers that they were all given, all that stuff really made sense and how it all kind of worked out. The only person that felt a little weird to me, but it's probably that's completely me. But the Liu Kang, he felt a little bit young.
He did. I was not expecting Liu Kang to look like that, but it worked for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
I forget what his name is, but Top Hat guy, I feel like, pretty good. I feel like everyone was perfect, what's his name? Jax, great. Mm-hmm. Sonya, great. The only person, I guess this is probably the main thing for me on this film is the main characters. It felt just a little off, Yeah,
let me explain that. Let me explain that real quick. So, the main character of this film is a guy named Cole Young. He was in Mortal Kombat. Oh wait, no, this is a new character. Yeah. Never before in the franchise, and it feels out of place. And we're going to get into spoilers at the very end. We're not going to get into any of that now. Don't worry, we'll give you a warning. But I do have some ranting about that aspect of the film. But yes, the new main character for this film, because there was a 95 film. The main character, I guess the main character of that one would be Johnny Cage, but this main character is Cole Young. He is a MMA fighter fighting in the underground. Shout out to MMA. He's got a wife and a kid, and that's all I can say about him. Not an interesting personality. I thought his power up,
main character dude.
His power up, which we won't get into for spoilers, I thought was weak. I thought it was lame. I thought it was dumb.
His outfit,
he does not add to the story. Whack. He does not add to the story at all, and so that's a big grudge. But again, I got a whole rant to go into at the end for that. But yeah, let's finish up the spoiler-free section, Germs. We thought the action was great. We thought the casting was great. Kano, can I just say something about Kano? Kano was great. I'm not here to bag on him. The actor did a phenomenal job, but it feel like he stole too many scenes, right? They're juggling a huge cast of characters, and it almost feels like Kano's movie for a little bit. Everyone's laughing at his one-liners. He's stealing the show. And listen, if you really like Kano, that's good for you. And if you really dislike him, you're going to get a lot of him.
Hate it.
Yeah, you'll hate him even more. So I loved when he'd have lines, but they just felt too overpowering, right? Like we didn't get enough Kung Lao or Liu Kang, or we got a decent amount of Sonya Blade, but I just feel like they gave a little bit too much time to him, and the reason they gave more time to him is because his one-liners were funny as shit, man. Funny as hell. So good.
Yeah, and that's true. I didn't think about that.
I'm almost complaining that it's too good, but I just feel like they gave too much time to him. If they had a smaller cast of characters and they had that much time to him, but they also had that much time to other characters, okay.
Like Jax kind of shafted a little bit.
He got the shaft a little bit, for sure.
I think like Sonya's just the perfect amount of time for Sonya. Mm-hmm. The main character, maybe a little. Well, I guess he's the main character, so I guess the right amount of time. But
yeah,
I just didn't like what they did with him, in my opinion. But I think everyone else, like Liu Kang, fantastic. You know, we got his moments throughout the whole thing, and it wasn't maybe what's the hat guy? Maybe a little bit more with him. Maybe a little bit more Raiden. Kung Lao.
Yeah. Raiden's another one. His character looked a little off to me, but again, I grew to like it.
His eyes were a little bit, but that's just how it is.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the casting was great, the fights were great, and the story is lacking. That's all. That's all my thoughts in one. Casting, excellent. Fights, really good. Story is just jokes. Not there for me. Jokes are fine. The humor's fine. But the story is just lacking for me. And that's just what I felt leaving the theater. And if you want a good, fun popcorn flick, then bam, this will do you good. And it was very entertaining. You know, if you're there to be satisfied with some good fight scenes, there you go. This will be good for you. If you want an engaging story, this is not going to be that. So, yeah, that is my overall thoughts on the film. Let's get into your overall thoughts on the film. We'll give a quick rating, and then we'll get into some spoilers. You know, because I want to go into some of the negative aspects of the film. I can't really go into them here for spoiler reasons, but yeah. So, overall, what'd you think of the film, Germs?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. You know, would I watch it again? Maybe not.
That's a good question. Would you watch it again?
You know, maybe, you know, if someone has never seen any Mortal Kombat or anything, you're like, oh, let me give you an introduction to Mortal Kombat. And you're like, bam. But if it's like, you know, if you have something else you could do, it's like, you know, maybe play some Magic, maybe, you know, watch a new anime or something, you know, maybe watch this again. But I enjoy the time I had with it, so I'd give it like you know,
out of 5.
7.
What are we doing out of 5?
I would probably give it a 3. It's maybe seems a little high, but just the enjoyment and the way I felt after coming out of it, I really enjoyed it. You know, there's some negative aspects that we'll get into, but just really dumb fun. You know, I came in expecting a Mortal Kombat film, came out satisfied with it.
You got a Mortal Kombat film for sure. Yeah, we're gonna do 5 just to keep it consistent, and we don't do the halvesies. Just 1 out of 5. A 3 is average, I would say, right? A 1 or 2
a little bit
is
above, a little bit.
A little bit of blood, but not good enough for you to give it a 4. But yeah, like 3 is like the middle, and then, you know, obviously, as you'd expect. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. I'm not going to say I disliked the film, but it didn't do much for me personally. Good fight scenes. I love the stuff between Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Give me a whole movie of that.